gospel that we heard this morning is a continuation of what was started last week. Jesus is teaching his disciples, and if you remember last week, it was the blessed. Blessed are you who are weak. Blessed are you who mourn. Blessed are you who are poor in spirit. And we were reminded that blessed means that God's face is turned towards us, that God sees us, especially when we're in those situations, and that God is a transformer, that God notices and God is with us, and God helps to transform those situations. And so this week, we go from the blessed are you, God's face is turned towards you, to you are. You are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. And Jesus is talking not to an individual, but to all of you. In the South, they say, all y'all. It's the whole bunch. You are. And it's not because of anything that they have done to be salt or light. It is because of who God is. God has made them as God makes us to be salt and light. So what does it mean to be salt? Well, we know that a little bit of salt can make a big difference in transformation. We also know that a little bit, or all things as they need to be, is a good thing. Too much salt. We all need to have a little in our system, but too much of it can make us sick. And we also know that there's a little bit in most everything that is cooked, but too much can ruin it. I still remember years ago when I was very young, I was staying with my grandma for a week, and we decided to make cookies, but it made this huge batch, so we thought, well, we'll only make half a batch. And we got it all, and we were baking them, and they smelled so good, and they looked so good, and we bit into the first one and went, oh! We forgot to cut the salt in half. And the whole batch we had to throw away. It was ruined. And so I think that there's something for us to learn in that as well. Yes, we are to be the salt of the earth, but not so much salt that we overpower or ruin, that we are meant to be just the right amount of salt that transforms to give God the glory, not for our own personal acclaim or fame. And that same sort of thing is with light. We are the light of the world. Not to shine so brightly that we overshadow the gifts of others, but to complement, to bring light, bring to light the things of the world that Jesus shines through and in, and to help show the way to Jesus. Again, to give God the glory. And so as Jesus spoke to those disciples, Jesus also speaks to us. We are salt and light, our Savior's Lutheran Church. All of us together are pieces of transformation, ways of shining light in order to help bring others and to show others the way. So, Pastor, you may be thinking, well, if we are salt and light and we are here for a particular reason to be what we are supposed to be, then what is that? That's a great question. And I think it's a question that we should continually ask ourselves. Who are we supposed to be? And I think another question that goes with that is, who are we here for? Jesus says we are salt and light for the world. That's for those family members perhaps that aren't here, or maybe our fellow workers, or maybe our fellow classmates in school, or maybe our neighbors in our neighborhood, maybe our folks in our community. We are here as salt and light for the world. And so I was wondering, what are the ways in which our Savior's Lutheran Church is already, because you are is present tense, what are the ways that our Saviors, that you all of us actually, are already salt and light? And I thought, you know what? I'd like to have you all help me with that. So what I've got here are some slips of paper. I want you to take just a moment to think about ways that our Saviors are salt, is salt and light. And you just need to write down one. If you would just write down one way, and then I'll pick those up in just a moment. I'll give you a moment to pass these out. Participatory, right? Participation. If you want to talk to each other, that's okay too. If you want to think about it in group, that's all right. After all of us are salt and light. visiting today, welcome. And please know you don't always have homework in the middle of the sermon. The other option was to have people stand up and say it out loud, and I thought this was a little less threatening, right? I'm just going to grab a couple randomly. Helping others, praying for them for hope to start a new life. Ways that our Saviors. Facebook and internet sermons. Someone's going to look at this on the internet and go, what did she do? We can give to Change for Change to help the hungry be fed. Awesome. That one was blank. It's okay. Giving food to food pantries. Fellowship time, soup suppers, ways that we are salt and light in the world. Working in the church, fellowship. You know, fellowship is a very important time. We go out into the community and touch others throughout the week. There's a great place to stop. Thank you. I will go through the rest of these and share them maybe in the newsletter or online or who knows where they might show up. Salt and light for the world.